Ya bye bye bye. 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Welcome on Zoom. Barbara, we're so happy that you're here. And we welcome all of you, guests and those who are here regularly. We're so happy that you're here tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
No.
I'm new at this. Thank you. Thanks, Yolanda. Shabbat Shalom and welcome everyone. And a special welcome to Richard's son and daughter-in-law, Justin and Natalia Adler, to Richard's sister Ellen, her son Peter, and her grandchildren Sophie, Jack, Leo, and Nora, and to Barbara Parker, Richard's sister, waving at us from Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. Did I pronounce correctly? Yes. And to Stuart Haber from New York, former CBH member and still connected. Just to let you know, Dave Purcell, Richard's husband, has decided to view the service on our YouTube channel when his family is able to join and support him following their return to Ann Arbor from an out-of-state trip. And tonight we honor Richard and other original members of our community.
My name is Rebecca Goldsmith. I'm the interim spiritual leader here at CBH, and this is Paul Glickstein, who will be co-leading tonight's service. And I think you wanted to tell us a little bit about the nigun that we did at the beginning of the night.
Yes, the riff you heard from the band is the Open to Spirit in the Sky, one of Richard's favorite songs, written by Norman Greenbaum and released in 1969. It hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, ranks 333rd on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time, and was voted one of rock's top 10 one-hit wonders in a Rolling Stones readers poll.
Amazing. So we're going to move ourselves forward in our service, and I just want to let you know the Parsha today, Parsha Shmini, which we will be reading tomorrow, this week gives us the first this understanding of ulahavdil ben kodesh uven hachol, which is what we say actually every Saturday night, Havdalah, when we make a separation between Shabbat and the regular week. Here we get this first notion in this week's Parsha that says we separate between what is holy and what is profane. And so I want to invite the spirit of Shabbat and really mark that separation. We are moving into whatever kind of week you've had, or day, or last 2 hours. We're moving into holy time. And so let's really take a moment to honor that cycle and that opportunity to settle into something that's larger than ourselves.
Okay, we will continue with the Shabbat candle lighting. And we'd like to call up the entire Adler family to come light the Shabbat candles, and I will lead the candle lighting. Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lechadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Thank you all.
We're going to turn in our sidurs and our prayer books to page 12. Welcome the Shabbat angels. Whether you think of angels as guides and beings around us, or you think of them as people sitting right next to you, take some time to welcome in angels for Shabbat. Page 12. And 13.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Kohen Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei
I'd like to add another welcome to Mike Feinsilver, former member who's visiting us right now. So welcome back, Mike.
Who else is visiting us from out of town right now that came tonight?
Yes.
So glad, yeah. So we're so happy that you're here, near and far, young, old, returning, all the things. Page 19. This is a great time to transition into love. Dodili, my beloved. This is a night of love, a night of lifting up love, and so is Shabbat. So we'll welcome in our beloveds. We sing together, Dodili. Dodili ba'ani lo haroeh b'shoshani.
Calm response.
Dodili ba'ani lo
Diliva Anilo Areva Shoshani.
Oh, take all that love, put it in your hearts. And maybe just take a look around, say hi to people who are around you, welcome each other.
Hello.
Remember, you go from a B to a C second. Yes, I'm working on it. Maybe next year.
Just tighten it a little bit.
All right, you talkers. Save it for the oneg. So listen, we have a couple of psalms. You know, this is a couple of Shabbat is about the psalms, singing through the psalms. So we're going to sing two of them right now. And these two are really actually about singing boldly and beautifully and joyfully. Naria, lechune ranena, come, let's sing. Let's sing to the divine, let's sing to life. Naria, we say a lot, and it's defined in a lot of ways. It's always around a shout of joy, a shout of meaning. So we're going to do that for the next two psalms. It's going to be high energy. I'm going to tell you we're on page 21, and then we're going to go to 26, 27, 21, 27. I'll call out 27 when we switch, but be prepared. And let's shout of joy and love tonight.
I'm not singing over Rebecca, am I?
Love the harmonies, Paul. Love them.
Just wanted to check.
Oh, are we ready to welcome the bride? Are we ready to our beloved? Are we ready to welcome our lover, our Shabbat, Lecha Dodi? We sang Lechu, come let's. Now it's Lecha, let's, come, beloved, sing. This is a love sandwich, Dodi v'Dodi. Here we are. So pause, take a breath in. And we'll be on page 41. Some of you have already turned that page, I heard. That's great. And we're going to sing the top of each page, subsequent page, all the way through Lecha Dodi, where we stand. And I'll call it out as we go.
And for those who may not be familiar, following the last verse, we stand and face the door and greet the Sabbath bride.
Beautiful. Thanks, Paul. As we were singing, how beautiful the energy feels in this room, which is such a blessing in this time. So when we find those moments, it is really our privilege and our responsibility almost to take them in. So we'll sing Psalm 92, which is the Psalm of Shabbat, Psalm of wholeness, peace, rest, welcoming, with deep gratitude for the feeling of being together in this room tonight. Lifting up Richard Adler, who had vision, was part of the founding group of people that imagined this moment. Maybe they didn't imagine it, but maybe they did. In order for this kind of moment to happen, you have to have people that can hold that and see it when it's not possible. So we lift that up for our founders, for Richard. Page 49. Sing of gratitude in the morning and in the night. Tov Turn to page 55.
For the, should I just do it here?
Sure.
Okay, all right. We'll continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 55, and afterwards we'll stand, of course, and open the ark for the Baruch Hu. And I would like to ask Nancy and Jackie if they would open the ark because you knew Richard so well. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah V'yamad Yavrach Yirutei V'yamlich Malhutei B'chayechon v'yomechon Uv'chayet echol Beit Yisrael Bagala Uv'izman kahariv V'yimeru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevorach Ve'olam Yamei Amaya Yitbarak V'yishtabak V'yitba'ar V'yitbromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalev V'yitalal Shemei Kedushah B'richu Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'yimeru amen.
Page 57.
Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. Turn to page 58 and 59. Blessed are you, source of life, by whose word the evening falls. In wisdom you open heaven's gates. With divine discernment you make seasons change, causing the times to come and go, and ordering the stars on their appointed path through heaven's dome, all according to your will. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzavaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, Hamari Aravim. We move into love that has no ending, and we sing together on page 61. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too impaired to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that lead us, even when we are too weak for meaning. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Embrace, touch, soothed and counsel. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved as we are loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved as we are loved by unending love and unending love. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 65. Cover our eyes if that's your tradition. Shema Yisrael ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. I'm just really feeling all of the love, all the ways that we sing love in this service, in this time. And we come to page 79, Michamocha, a prayer of wonder, maybe a spirit in the sky, or maybe around you, or maybe just the wonder of being alive to witness this moment. Call and response. Michamocha, Ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha, Nedar b'kodesh, Nora, Tehilo, What a perfect landing for Hashkivenu. Just the sound of that word, Hashkivenu. I was talking with Rabbi Josh earlier this week, and we were saying how much we love the Hashkivenu, and he said, I think there's like a club of people who love the Hashkivenu, those who love the Hashkivenu, and those who are like, okay. So maybe we're all those people. I don't know who we are in this room, but when I hear the word Hashkivenu, it already is like, help me lie down, help me be at peace, help me lean into, let me surrender. And we have this beautiful blessing of a canopy of peace that holds us, that lifts us, that's over us. So can we imagine that divine energy, the holy, sacred, restored expansion under the canopy of peace? And we sing together, page 82, in the transliteration, it's on the second line, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, canopy of peace. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Well, from peace and surrender and protection to the commandment to observe the Shabbat. Commandment, woo! I heard it. Did you hear it, Rabbi Zev? Up front. Woo! And yes, right? This mitzvah, generations behind and behind and behind and forward and forward and forward. What a mitzvah. Let's sing it together. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledotam berit olam. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et
of a new tradition.
I know. It's a camp tradition. Shy holding it down, bringing us new traditions.
Love it.
Amazing. Let's just take a moment without applause, but just a moment to really appreciate this beautiful, incredible, holy, sacred band of music makers, shall we? Thank you for lifting us and bringing us to new places with your hearts, your souls, and your instruments. We are here at last at the time for our own prayers, the Amidah, standing. This is a time, hopefully you've shed some layers, moved some energy, are in a place where you can be alone with your own thoughts, your own prayers, if it's yours to use. Did you want to say something?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Go. Oh, I would love to ask Paul to say something.
Oh, thank you. Yes, no, we continue with the Amida, found on pages 91 through 107. And please rise. You're welcome to read those selections or simply contemplate what is meaningful to you. And feel free to be seated when you're finished.
Open my lips, beloved one, and let my mouth declare your praise.
That beautiful melody you heard, so beautifully played, and hummed, was Etta James's At Last, the title track to her debut studio album, released in 1960, and another of Richard's favorite songs. James's version of the song ranks 115th on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time, far ahead of Spirit in the Sky, and has been inducted into the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry. Thanks again, Will. So,
Thank you for the stats.
you bet. Thank Google. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It doesn't matter where you go in life, what you do, or how much you have. It's who you have beside you. Those words, generally attributed to Maya Angelou, were the words that Richard not only cherished, but the words he lived by. And whether that meant family, partner, spouse, friend, or colleague, we were all the beneficiaries of what inspired Richard. The following is largely edited and excerpted from my eulogy for Richard that I delivered last September in Ann Arbor. Richard and I met in 1986 here at Bet Havarim, the year after this synagogue was founded. I'm honored to share remembrances of my nearly 40-year friendship with a man so many of us adored. But I'll begin with a text I sent at 9:38 on the morning of July 3rd, 2024, which includes our nicknames for each other. Richie and David'll, thinking about both of you. Hope you're both rested, feeling well, and have an enjoyable holiday. Happy 4th, Pool. Within the hour, my phone rang with Richard's number appearing on my caller ID. With his diminishing ability to speak due to his rare autoimmune disease, he and I had come to rely on text and email, so I was thrilled to see we'd be having a conversation that day. Hello, gorgeous, I answered, citing Barbra Streisand's iconic opening line from 1968's Funny Girl, which had become part of our arsenal of shtick. However, it wasn't Richard on the call. It was Dave informing me of Richard's death. Dave assured me that Richard had read my text only moments before he died. And so began my process of shock and disbelief, of mourning, of reflection, and of remembering a loyal son, a proud father, father-in-law, and grandfather, a patient and devoted brother, an attentive uncle and great-uncle, a renowned speech professional and revered colleague, a friend to many, and a loving and devoted husband, my pal Richie. What follows are random remembrances. While perhaps unique to Richard and me, none of this mishigas will probably surprise any of you. Richard and I had upbringings that couldn't have differed more. He, a born and bred New Yorker, and I, a Southerner from Jacksonville, Florida. Yet we quickly found an enduring connection through our commitment to Jewish community, observance, and culture, all through a gay lens. So of course, there's the aforementioned Barbara, including Saturday Night Live's legendary Coffee Talk skit devoted to all things Streisand and featuring her surprise cameo appearance. It was years before YouTube, and I had taped the show on my Sony VCR. Richard had never seen the sketch, so I invited him over for a viewing. To this day, I've never seen a longer and more sustained reaction to anything. Richard was verklempt. And for the next 30-odd years, dialogue from that skit ran throughout our conversations. What can I say? No big whoop. It was like butter. It wasn't all laughs, however. Richard and I did have a long-standing and irresolvable disagreement, whether tofu was real food. If you're a tofu lover, well, bless your heart. You can't help yourself. Nevertheless, the subject of tofu came up frequently, as it probably would if I tried to eat it. But Richard would regale me with stories of the allegedly delicious tofu dishes he prepared at home or ordered out. Other than tofu, our dietary preferences were fairly aligned, which fortunately was enough to sustain our friendship. Richard was a romantic, and his pursuit of romance literally took him cross-country. It was hard not seeing him on a nearly weekly basis to gather with friends, to celebrate birthdays and other milestones, to observe Jewish holidays together and more. But from Seattle to Moorhead, Minnesota, and ultimately to Ann Arbor, where Richard would retire with the love of his life, our friendship never faltered. I was not so lucky. When my primary relationship imploded, Richard was there to support and console me. I remember Richard's descriptions of life in Minnesota during the darkest days of winter, the incomprehensible thermometer readings, the layers upon layers of clothing, and the tales of remote car starters, something entirely foreign to me. I remember conversations about his various teaching positions, his students and his private clients, his pioneering, published, and professionally lauded work with the transgender community, and more. As the years passed, I remember the challenges and triumphs as Richard battled and prevailed over tongue cancer, as well as the challenges of his autoimmune disease that would deplete his body and eventually take him from us. Throughout all of it, whatever he was feeling, Richard remained positive, cheerful, and hopeful with me. Before I close, these words adapted from my eulogy to Justin, Natalia, granddaughter Celia, and grandson Ben. Richard was extremely proud of you, cavilled about you incessantly, and was so grateful to have you all in his life. I was reminded time and time again how bright and well-spoken Celia and Ben are. But then, what would you expect from a speech pathologist and doting grandfather? And now to Ellen and Barbara. Richard and I would routinely update each other on our siblings' respective shenanigans. Though we never met until tonight, I know you two to be strong-willed, opinionated, and fiercely devoted sisters who never left Richard's side. And to Dave, who will soon see this on YouTube, as I've said to you, you are a mensch among mensches. Your patience, devotion, care, and love through the best and worst of times reflect your character, a character of the highest caliber. Richie, you brought inspiration to your students, confidence to your patients, love to your friends and family, and joy to anyone who knew you. You were taken too soon, but you leave a legacy we will always remember and cherish. Zichrono livracha, Richie. May your memory be for a blessing. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. What a beautiful tribute and legacy to honor such a powerful, important, beautiful man.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. We'll come to our Misha Berach, which is a prayer for healing. So our hearts that are still healing from grieving and mourning and loss, those that we want to bring some healing to, maybe ourselves, people we know, people we don't know, communities in the world. Call them to mind right now. I'm going to read off our Misha Berach list, and then I'm going to just open up for everyone to bring a web of names into the room. Scott Epstein, Victoria Isbister, John Isbister, Anna Leviesbrick, Ruth Kanfer, Nell Mayer, Dory Perling, Nancy Rosenblum, Melissa Sachs, Rabbi Zev Chaim Thayer, Rich Tolyahan, Randy Foster, Ava Kotlier, Susan Birch, Sarah K. Black, Richard Anzalone, Mildred Anzalone, Rachel Hahn, Margie Asheroff, Jean K. Black, Shirley Olofern, Joe Chansey. Open it up.
Bob Schwartz.
This is a call and response.
Mi sheberach avotenu kor hachaim
I'd like to call up Xavian to come lead us in a prayer for the end of hiding.
Which you will find in the back of your prayer book.
Please join me. As
LGBTQ Jews, we are aware of the loss of integrity we suffer due to the pressures of the larger society. We often feel forced into a dishonest presentation of ourselves to ourselves and others. The LGBTQ individuals who feel they must pretend to be something that they are not. The Jews who feel they must be alienated from their tradition and community to win larger acceptance.
Both are
Victims of a theft of identity and integrity committed by the sexual, gender-identifying, or religious majority.
Creator of the universe, we ask that our hiding draw to an end, that we no longer feel we have to pretend, to promise falsely, to renounce ourselves, and that our fullest creative expression as Jews and as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people be among the blessings you bestow upon us. Amen.
I'll ask you to turn to page 121. We're going to ask you to rise as well. And
We call up Linda Hilsenrad and Jean Kablak, if you would open the ark.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נתן. בתוכנו, page 123, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו אינו אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות אל בבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחתינו. And we continue at the bottom of page 125. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Be seated.
Okay. All right, and now we'd like to ask Justin and Natalia and Ellen to come forward and place Richard's memorial block on our yahrzeit wall. And as they do, we remember other original members honored on our wall as well. Serge Bernstein, Sherry Emery, Michael Kensler, Tom Levine, Robert Needle, Gary Bacola, Art Prager, and Jack Schiffman Jr. There's an opening top shelf. Yeah.
And for those of us who are watching, we know that the founders are in purple.
Yeah.
Those colors are in purple. I invite you to take a look at the names. We put Richard
Yeah.
there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And if you want, there are some stones there. If you'd like to put a stone on top of your grandfather's, yeah. Okay. Yes.
It's okay.
Amazing.
Richard is with us.
Richard is with us.
Richard
that's
is
right.
with us.
It's like, you know why you can't put it up there? Because it's like butter. It's like
It's like butter,
in
it's
your
like-
hands. It's a what? It's an Adler thing? Amazing.
Oh my
Honoring
gosh.
tradition of the Adlers. Perfect.
Wow. Okay.
So we turn to page 131, and we continue in this with honoring those who have come before us, who are no longer with us. I'll invite you, if you're observing a period of mourning, if you are observing a yahrzeit, to stand and come around and share their names if you're comfortable.
Josh, me, Jordan, Alex,
emails in red. 7-Eleven store in Maryland.
Paul Staff Sergeant Rizor Asaf Kafri, 26 years old. Staff Sergeant Galeb Sliman El Nasara, 45 years old, Scout. And Pinchas, Rachel, and Yafa, my family died in the Holocaust, and the rest of the 6 million Jewish people that I know.
Noah Johnson. Hi, I'm Assistant Officer Sylvia Pellet.
Richard Adler, Noah Johnson, Diane Dexter, and Marilyn Perlman.
If there's anyone online who'd like to unmute.
And for our guests, it's our custom to stand at the second verse after the mourners have completed the first verse.
Join together on page 131.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yalma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayeh dachol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah b'barach le'olam amei amaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yet adar, v'yet aleh, v'yet alal, shemei kadeshah b'richu, le'ilam in kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yamru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yamru, amen. Oseh shalom b'ramah, u'yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimru, amen.
May their memories be a blessing.
Yes. Okay, please be seated.
We'd like to bring our vice president of our board up, where are you, Julie, to read some announcements. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Julie Fishman. I'm Vice President of the board here at Congregation Bet Havarim. Wanted to welcome everyone who's here in person. This has been such a beautiful service, such a beautiful gathering, and welcome and thank you to those on Zoom as well. So several thanks first to our greeter, Steve Osheroff, who I think stepped up in the breach in the last minute, so thank you, Steve. Thank you to our on-site staff member and Zoom host, Emily Anzalone. I'm looking over there, but she's not there. She must be out there. Thank you to our wonderful service leaders, our ever fabulous Rebecca Goldsmith, and her yes, thank you, and her collaborative companion this evening, Paul Glickstein. The service was beautiful. Thank you to today's police officer on duty, Melly Poon. Thank you to the CBH band, led by Will Robertson. We always appreciate your talent and your beautiful offerings. Thank you very much to tonight's ONEG sponsors, Barbara Parker, who's joined us on Zoom, I believe, Ellen Adler, and Paul Glickstein. Thank you all very much. A few reminders before we wrap up this evening. The entire CBH community is invited to join us on Sunday at our community school for the Daffodil Project observance. This was rescheduled due to weather. We're very glad and appreciate very much Cantor Jen's leadership in this. We'll be talking about the project during the Minyan at school at 9:30 on Sunday, so please stop by. Later that evening at Or Hadash, there is a concert with the Mamalas, benefiting both CBH and Or Hadash. The performance is at 7 p.m., and I believe there's still tickets, and would love to see everyone there. Next weekend, we'll be bringing in Shabbat with a family-friendly but everyone welcome Shabbat Sababa, celebrating our community school teachers and Madrahim. Pizza dinner is at 5:45 and the service starts at 6:30. Please register in advance so we have enough pizza. On Saturday, May 3rd, we'll be celebrating the Brit Mitzvah of Jet Friedman, and this will be at CCUCC at 9:30 a.m. You can check out our website for additional details on these events and more. And also a additional plug for we always need ONEG sponsors.
So if you can sponsor an oneg for an upcoming service, please talk to Emily, and she'll get you all the info that you need. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Ruben has something to say.
Oh, wow. Who let him in here?
This Wednesday night, we are going to honor Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel Independence Day, with a dinner at the Toko Grill at 6:30. All are welcome. 6:30 at Toko Grill this Wednesday evening.
So we are in the middle of counting the Omer, and I'm delighted that as we begin the 13th day of the Omer, we are on what's called Gvura Shebeyesod, which in English, yeah, that's Yesod Shebegvura. That's actually right. In English, we're going to flip it in English. Yeah. It's the foundation. It's like a foundation of strength. And from that foundation, which is at the foundation of the tree of life, it's where the source of all divine and creative flow comes. And I think it's a perfect way to honor Richard as a foundation of strength in this community, a vision from which all of this has come. Richard and all of the people we honor who have gone before us and who are still here, and all of us today who are contributing and continuing to open that flow. So we honored Yesod Shebegvura, the strength of the foundation, this foundational strength that endures. And we turn to page 675 for the blessing. Yeah, we'll say this together. Oh, wait a second. It's at the bottom of the page before counting the Omer. We say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. And we say, Hayom shlosha asar yom shehem shavua echad v'shisha yamim laomer. Today is 13 days, which is 1 week and 6 days of the Omer. And this is the journey between liberation to revelation. So we're 6 days, a week and 1 day in, or 6 days in, to our way to revelation. Amazing. We come to the end together, singing a prayer for peace. For that which is in the heavens may it also be here on earth for all people. And we'll sing together.
Before we conclude, I just want to thank Stuart and Barbara and Barb for joining us tonight on Zoom. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
And I want to say, in honor of Paul's stats that he gave, this Oseh Shalom was written by Nurit Hirsch in 1969. And I want you to keep that date in mind as you hear this melody.
How did it rank?
I'm not sure how it ranked, but remember that this song is only about 50-ish, 50, 60 years old.
Oseh Shalom bimromahu, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, beinu imhu amen. Oseh Shalom bimromahu, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, beinu imhu amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al
יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבתנו. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Let's join together. Stand up, come a little closer. We're going to do our Kiddush. Matan, will you do our blessing for our Kiddush?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הדפן. לחיים, to life everybody.
Put your elbows on that one who holds the bread. Elbows on the one who holds the bread. How does it go?
I can't get over
Elbows
there.
on the one. Put your elbows on you know it holds the bread. I learned this from Jane and Kol Ami. All right, and I'm going to touch it with one little finger. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone. This is a lifeline.
In my role as band leader and apparently very loud speaker, it is my duty to inform you that we are now going to sing happy birthday to our violinist, Sarah Zasak. Shabbat shalom. I'm happy with that.